Okay, welcome to the second part of the spreadsheet challenges. So what we're going to focus on today is really why spreadsheets are magical, why they're so much more than just a table where you input words and numbers and things, and they're even better than a calculator. I like to say that a spreadsheet is like a programmable calculator. You can program it to do whatever you want to do. And it can really make your life a lot easier and more efficient. And so we're going to do that by learning about spreadsheet formulas. So a formula is something that we enter into an individual cell of a spreadsheet. So remember that the cells are the rectangles. This is the cell C2. And the reason that a formula is powerful is because you can reference other cells in your formula, which means that when you change one of those cells, it automatically changes everything in your calculation or whatever it is you're doing. Okay, it's really helpful though to see some examples. So what we're going to do is we're going to create formulas for 5 different things. And I want you to type these in the C column of your spreadsheet, beginning with C2. So first we're going to do, so select C2, and you're going to do the sum. So type sum, then product, then count, max, and min. And so pause the video right now and make sure that you have your cells labeled like this. Okay, let's write our first formula. And we're going to do that over in the D column. This is just, the C column is just labeling what those numbers are so that we can remember what they are. In the D column, we're actually going to type the formula. Whenever you type a formula, so I just want to point out actually that you can get into the cell by either typing here, or you can type up here in that the bar where it has the formula icon. And yeah, so that's just 2 different ways of doing it, whatever your preference is. So whenever you start a formula, you're always going to start with the equals sign. So equals. Then you type the command for that formula. In this case, we're doing the sum, so we're going to type SUM sum. I want you to notice Google is really a powerful spreadsheet tool because when you start typing the letters, it automatically starts to search in all of the commands for what it might be that you're interested in. And it tells you what those commands do. So that's a super useful tool, and you can already see how many different commands there are. Okay, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to type parentheses. Whatever's in the parentheses, that's what we're going to find the sum of. So now you could do this by saying sum and then parentheses, and then you could type the individual numbers, 327, 304, setting them with commas, 249, and so on. Then I could hit enter and it adds those all together. But that's not really that useful. That's not much different from a calculator. So I'm going to re-enter this, but instead of typing numbers, I'm going to type the letters of the cells that I'm interested in. A2, A3, A4, and I could keep going. And I want you to notice how it's highlighting those over here. It adds them all together. There's an even better way to do it. Instead of typing the individual cells, I'm going to type a range of cells. I'm going to type A2 colon A4, or excuse me, A11, because I want all of them. You could also do this by selecting. So if I have the sum, I can just over here select with my mouse and drag down, and it automatically does that, which is a really cool, useful tool. Once I've written all the cells, all the things I want to add up, I'm going to close the parentheses and hit enter, and it adds them all together. Now what's great about this is if I change any of these numbers, it's going to automatically change my calculation. So let's say, oh, 139, that shouldn't be 139, it should be 239. Sum automatically changes, which is pretty cool. So one other thing I want to point out, if for some reason you make a mistake while you're doing this, then and you're like, in the formula, you're clicking like this, and you accidentally type something you don't want to type, if you hit the escape button, it'll take you right out of it. It'll undo it. Okay, so your challenge is to do these formulas, these 4 more formulas for your range of data, all of them, and think about what they mean. Good luck.